Just a second. Hello, good afternoon. Today I'm very happy to welcome a great actress, Olga Montes. She has a long career in film and television and in short and long films as well. Hi, Olga, how are you?
I'm great, and you? It's really wonderful to be here. Thank you so much for having
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. And first, I want to ask you about growing up in Spain, in Malaga, and starting to be interested in performing in acting. What can you tell me, and how did you manage to pursue a professional career?
Well, actually, I came to Canada when I was 5, and I spent a lot of time in Spain, though. Like, I spent summers in Spain, and I got an education here. And
Yes.
so, but I danced a lot. I was like into ballet and jazz and tap, and when you dance, like you have to feel a lot. And I always felt like I advanced very fast in my dancing career because of I would put a lot of emotion into it. And then one day when I was in high school, someone rented the theater that our high school had, and they held general auditions for like everyone in our neighborhood or anywhere. And I landed the lead role. And so I just did it for fun. And then when I did it, it was Agatha Christie's 10 Little Indians. And I had so much fun. Then it came time to apply for college. And so I said, oh, I'm going to just apply to this college that has a theater program, and I'll never get in because 600 people apply and they only take like 10, 15. And I got in, and I had so much fun, and it was great. And then I just said, yeah, this is for me. Like, this is like dancing, but more. Like, now I get to like speak it and feel it and be it. And so that was a lot of fun. It was unexpected, but it was but I have always loved movies. I'm a very big movie fan.
Yes. How did you landed your first role in cinema?
um i auditioned I auditioned, and I heard like the people before me going in the room, and they were doing it like everyone was doing it the same. And so when I went in, I said, I can't do it the same because then I'm just going to be another one of them. And so, like, all of a sudden, my character that I had like practiced to be like them, I'm like, I can't do that. And so I just switched it like completely, and I played it more bubbly, and I played it like sillier or whatever, and I got it. And so that was like my first role was a principal role, which is like usually you start off with an actor role, which is smaller, and then you like progress to principal, which is a bigger role. But I started, my first role was a principal role. And she was a lot of fun. It was in a Stephen Baldwin movie called Protection back in 2001, I think. And that was a lot of fun.
That's what was shot in Canada or in America?
It was shot in Canada. Yeah. It was
Yes.
supposed, it
Yeah.
looked like it was in the States, but it was shot here in Canada, in Montreal.
Yes. Yes. Tell me, after you did Protection, you did some short films, and I
Yes.
think one of them was The Punisher, right? It's a short film based on The Punisher.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It was Thomas Jane, right?
No, this one, it was Punisher with Corey Sosner played the Punisher, and
Yes.
uh, I, I don't remember the name of the other actors, but my husband was also in it. John Vanvas, he was Jimmy the Sausage, and yeah,
Yes.
that too, that was a lot of fun. And that was
Yes.
actually Corey Sosner. We knew he was an actor that was like with our agency, and we just clicked. And he said, "I'm writing this Punisher a short film, and would you guys want to be in it? And so we did that, and that was like a lot of fun. We got to do
Mhm.
shoot here in New
Yes.
Jersey. We shot in New Jersey.
Yes. Tell me, you have some films as well later on, like Legacy of Fear. That was a Spanish television film. It's Miedo del Pasado
No, it's just that what's funny is that like a lot of the stuff that I've done has been translated or into
into
the
Spanish.
yes, and so when I went to Spain, actually, Protection, my cousin came up to me. He's like, "Here," and it was the DVD of Protection in Spanish. And I'm like, "Oh my God, I've been dubbed!" And I speak Spanish. I'm Spanish, and so it was just really funny to hear myself be spoken by someone else, my voice by somebody else. But no, Legacy of Fear 2, that was shot here in Montreal, and that I got to play the wife of a serial killer who's like really scared that there's a serial killer out on the roof. Oh no, don't worry, he's not going to come after you. And uh, and that I did actually after I had, I don't know if it was my first or second child, and I had like lost all the weight, and I was like really really skinny, and I was back in shape, and the roll call, like they had to put me in a pregnancy suit, and so and make me look really fat and big. And so I thought that was very funny, because after all my hard work, my first role after having given birth was like of a pregnant woman, like a very pregnant woman. And so I thought that was
Yes.
very funny.
Yes,
Yeah.
but you played it very well because you know how to walk and stuff like that, and yeah, show the pregnancy. Yeah,
Thank
yes.
you.
But tell me, according to you, because you've been between Europe, the States, the Canada, how is the industry right now evolving, and especially for you, because you also write and you do work behind the scene,
Yes.
and also with this little focus about women, about empowering women right now. How do you see the characters of women on the screen in Canadian production? And also for you as an actress, married with kids, right now, what are the opportunities that you are being offered so far?
Well, I think it's evolving a little bit more, like that they're showing more interesting female characters now. Um, but I don't know, like I don't see myself as a woman in cinema. Like I just see myself as a person in cinema. And so I really think that maybe because as working as a producer and having worked behind the scenes for so long too, is that I really believe in like the best person should do the work or get the role. And that's another thing too, that being a producer, like sometimes necessarily it's not the best audition that'll like land the role. It's like what you have to like paint a whole picture of for the film. And so it's, don't take it personally. It's not because you did a bad job or you did or whatever. It's just that you have to, there's a whole picture that has to, you have to like look like the, if you're going to play a mother, like they have to cast like the husband, and then that cast children that all look alike. And so it has to all look a certain way. And so like I just don't take things personally anymore. And as a woman, I don't know, like I think that in Canada, the most fun roles that I've ever played are probably roles that I've written myself, or myself and my husband that have written, except for I got to play in a TV show called Alert, couple of like a year and a half ago, and that's out like all over the place. And there I got to play crazy. I got to play the guest star, and I got to have so much fun because she was very layered. And then I also got to work with stunts and work with like a whole fight scene, and I had a stunt double, of course, but all the shots on me, like I had to, it was all choreographed, and it was like a whole day of like work, and that was so much fun. I got to work with breakaway glass and breakaway windows and throw her out the window and smash things into her, and so that was a lot of fun, and that was a layered character, and so that was more interesting. And so, but for what they have here now, there's like so much going on politically with like what can be shot here in Canada or what can't be done in Canada, and also money is an issue in the economy. And so I just find that independent cinema actually is like the best avenue for everyone, because there like we can push more buttons, because everybody with the mainstream people are more worried about making money instead of art, and but with independent cinema they're more concerned with making art. And so art is always more fun.
Yes, I was looking into your websites and I mean links and previous work. I've seen that you've been in Cannes Festival recently with your husband.
Yes, yeah. Well, the
Yes,
2024, yes.
yes, it was in I think the Majestic Hotel. That was a Hilton because I think before it was a Hilton. It's where the Italian pavilion.
Oh yes,
I remember.
yes.
It was a Hilton when I first went to Cannes.
Okay.
So, in that context, tell me a little bit about your husband and how do you collaborate on projects. And your recent project I've seen has been released. It was uh, Scarpedicamente,
Yes,
correct?
yes, yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay, tell me a little bit about your relationship. How did you meet your husband and how did it evolve into collaborating on projects?
Well, back in 1992, I auditioned for a play that was at the Centaur Theater here in Montreal. It's like the big theater, and I got three callbacks. The producers wanted me, the director didn't. He wanted a blonde, and then they said they kept making me come back to do other scenes, and the producers told the director, "Look, you see, she's the best one. We need to hire her." And he said, "No, I don't want this girl." And they said, "Well, what's your problem with her?" And he goes, "Because I'm going to fall in love with her and it's going to ruin the play." And that's my husband. And so they hired me. They said, "Well, if that's your problem, then, just keep it to yourself. And like, we want this girl for the play." And so that was back in 1992. And by the end of it, like, we just really, really clicked on stage and off stage. And at the end of it, then we started dating, and we've been together ever since. And so after that play, we started wanting to do more theater. And there's the fringe festivals that happen all over North America. And I said, "Well, why don't we do a fringe play?" And so we did a play, and we took it to halfway, like, across the country, and it was extremely successful. And so the following year, we couldn't find any other two-person plays to do, and so we decided to write our own. And we did. And then we started, like, with that one, we took, like, all the way to Western Canada, and like all over Canada, parts of the United States. And then we, like, nobody knew us, and we sold out everywhere. We were picked best of the festival. And so then we did that for 4, 5, 6 years, going like all over North America, and traveling and doing theater and writing our own stuff. And we just really, really click artistically. Like, whenever I don't know, like, if I get stuck, he has the perfect thing to tell me to, like, get me unstuck. And so he's just really opened up and brought out the best of me as a performer, as a writer, as a producer. Like, we have a lot of fun. Just even for an example, for Scarpedicamente, the film that is out now worldwide. We did that as a play in 1996, and we were going to put it back on off Broadway, and in 2020. And so we had our appointment at the end of March 2020, and then COVID hit, and they closed Broadway. And so we were just waiting and waiting and waiting, and then Johnny said, "Well, why don't we just make a movie?" And we had never made a film, not even a short. We had acted in them, but that's about it. And so we just decided to take all our savings and make a film. And we hired everyone. And because of COVID, everyone was available. Like, we had these technicians, the DOP, the cinematographer, the sound guy. Like, we had all these amazing people that were able to work with us, because we just needed them for 10 days, and all their projects had been pushed to September because of COVID. And so we got just amazing people to collaborate with and make this film.
Great. What can you tell me about the story of the film and the play it was based on?
Well, we were living in Winnipeg at the time, and we were looking to write our next play to tour. And John Gotti was in the news a lot at the time. He had been arrested, and the Gotti tapes had been released. And then um, uh, we just started, like, I think Johnny got the idea about this mobster who lives out of movies, and he wishes that instead he's next in line to be the Godfather, but instead he wishes he was an actor. And so everything that he sees everything in black and white, and well, no, not at the play, but he sees everything as if it's like a movie set. And so he reenacts all these um, these scenes from movies, but like interpreting them into his own life. And so then we said, well, what can we do with her? And so we started watching a lot of like documentaries on mafia wives. And mafia wives, one of their big things that they have is that they play a lot dumber than they are. And so that their husbands will never suspect them, and so that their husbands could feel comfortable with them. And so we thought, wow, that's really cool. So I really played with that. Um, I looked to Born Yesterday. It's a 1960 movie with Billie Holiday where she's like dumb and she like gets smarter. And so I had a lot of fun playing her because she is very, very layered. And I don't want to give anything away, but she's extremely layered. And so that would made it more challenging and more interesting and easier, I guess. Because when you have a
Yes.
lot when you have a lot to work with, then it's easier. When you have like one line or one dimension, then you're stuck. But if you have a lot of dimensions and a lot of layers, and then you can like just have so much more fun with it.
Yes. But tell me, as a producer and a writer and as an actress, do you have a dream character or dream project you would like to realize on your own or with your husband or with other artists you know of in Canada, the States, Europe?
Well, it's not dream, I guess, but I always like to, look for something I haven't done. And so we wrote this film script a long time ago called Werewolves with an H, and it's really about a social commentary on kids and bullying and a lot of things that are happening, current events. And so we wrote it as a script. It got optioned right away, and about a year and a half into pre-production, it just fell through. Like we couldn't sign with the producers. We weren't happy with the contract, and so we turned it into a novel and put it out on Amazon. And it's been selling. It's been doing really well. Ever like selling on Amazon as a novel, and that's, I think, one project I really, really wish that we can get off the ground. It's a little pricey, but we made some connections at Cannes, and so hopefully we can get that off the ground. And that one is very layered and very, and our style of writing is that like just when you think you know where the story is going, boom, we take you somewhere else, and then boom, we take you somewhere else, and then it just keeps like we keep like playing with your mind and playing with your perception of things or your um how you see things. And so just when you think you know what it is, we go somewhere else. And so just to keep audiences on their toes and also involved and make it a lot more fun for them too to watch, because I think we're entertainers and we want to entertain and we want to make things like, even if we do like a big heavy drama, like we want to make it interesting and that worthwhile for you to have been there and given us your time.
Yes, I think regarding bullying is
Yeah.
a very important subject. I was interviewing a young lady from the States 2 weeks ago, and she was telling me she's starting to sing, but she faced like this bullying, and I told her what happened next, and then we became friends. I think it's very important because young kids, they don't have to direct their energy, and it's very important at home and school, to teach them, that you are kids, you should be friends, not hurting each other,
Yes.
and because some kids, focus on bullying, not studying in class,
Yeah.
especially if they are bigger. Because when I was young as well, we used to have certain kids, they have taller or bigger than us usually,
Yes.
and their physicality, maybe inspire them, to be like the boss, at the
Yes.
classroom,
Yes.
you know.
Yeah.
Y ahora quería saber si quieres decir algo en español para sus amigos, artistas o
Buenos días.
colaboradores que son latinos y españoles.
Sí, sí. Hola, buenos días. Sí. Am, Me llamo Olga Montes, soy una actriz, productora y escritora aquí en Montreal por el momento. Am, y no sé, ¿qué quieres saber? ¿Qué quieres saber?
Si, pour tes amis francophones aussi,
Oui.
oui,
Oui.
en français.
Bonjour, oui, je m'appelle Olga Montes. Je suis comédienne, productrice, écrivain ici à Montréal. Et bienvenue et merci de me rejoindre.
Merci. We yeah, right now YouTube offers subtitling, and dubbing automatically to everything. So the interview hopefully will be available in several language. And I was very happy interviewing you today. And I wish you all the best upcoming projects with your husband, and also best of happiness for you with him and the family and kids.
Thank
And
you.
I hope I will try to find out the novel in Amazon. I have two books on Amazon myself.
Oh,
Same book in English and Spanish. Actually, is about Dexter, the television series. If you would like
I
to
love
see
Dexter.
some, okay, if you like to read some analysis, I will send you the link about it.
That's
It's
cool.
also on Audible. You can hear it in Espanol and in English.
Qué bien, qué bien.
And I'm preparing another book about the two series, because this mostly analyzes the first series that was screened 10 years ago. And right now, with New Blood and Resurrection, I'm preparing another book because I'm studying right now. Also, like you mentioned about mobsters and villains and
Oh,
antagonists in films. I'm analyzing why people, they like
yes. Well, I don't mean to cut
yeah.
you off. My husband and I are actually working on a film of that, and it's mostly him and me in it again. And he's going to play a serial killer, and I'm going to play a victim psychologist. And so it's all about
Mhm.
that, the psychology of serial killers. And we've done a lot of research on that too. And we've
Yes,
actually run into a serial killer. We ran into
yes.
one in Gary Ridgway. I don't know if you know the Green River Killer in
Yes.
Western. He actually we went into a hotel room in SeaTac, a motel, while we were traveling, and he was there. He started talking to us, but we brushed him off because we found he was like a weird man. We didn't know who he was. He tried to break into our room at night. Our dog
Hmm.
scared him away. And then in the morning, we found out who he was because state troopers said, "Have you seen this man?" And we're like, "Yeah." And they said, "Well, if you see him, do not approach. He's dangerous." And then years later, we found out he was caught, and we found out who he was, and that was like,
Yes.
wow.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. A few months ago, we saw on Netflix, me and my wife, the series about Ed Gein.
Yes. Yes, I saw it.
And my wife was watching, and at every episode she told me I will not see the following one. But I saw many films about Ed Gein and documentaries before, but this is was done very well,
Yeah.
and at the end, I tried to humanize him a little bit,
Yes.
and yeah, I think they will doing next time. The same character Charlize Theron played in Monster, the same
Yes. Yes.
serial killer women. This
Yeah.
is the next series on Netflix. But all in all, it's fascinating because usually serial killer are something, I remember watching some documentaries on YouTube that there are a lot of serial killers that never caught, they are still there, and
Yeah.
even Dexter, it was inspired by real life serial killer. I think it was in Brazil, you
Yes.
know
Yeah.
so yeah, sometimes reality is stranger than fiction, and more morbid,
Yeah.
but in all cases, I hope you can manage to work with your husband on this serial killer without screaming a lot, you know.
I,
Yes, and say hi to him, and I hope I can receive him in my channel for filmmaking as well, to talk about his career. And it was a pleasure talking to you today. Merci beaucoup.
Devil,
Muchas gracias.
yes, the just Scarpedicamente is available worldwide. It got picked up at Cannes, and
Yes,
so it's available worldwide on Tubi, on Amazon Prime, on
yes,
YouTube, on a lot of, like in France, it's available with French subtitles, and in Spain, it's available on Amazon with Spanish subtitles,
yes.
and so it's available in a lot of countries with
Platforms.
a lot of platforms, a lot of, yes, all over the world. So if you can check it
Great.
out, Scarpedicamente, cement shoes,
Sure.
a lot of
Great.
fun.
Thank you very much,
Thank
Olga.
you.
I
Thank
wish you all the best working behind and in front of the camera, your husband as well. And I
you.
hope next time when you have a new project, you come and talk to us, both of you, next
Awesome.
time. Okay?
Thank you for having me. Bye.
Take care. Bye bye. Thank you.